Main clause and subordinate clause 1. Like a compound sentence, a complex sentence is made up of two or more simple sentences, so it has two or more verbs. However, the simple sentence or clause in a complex sentence are not of equal importance. There is a main clause and one or more subordinate clause, which is a dependent clause. These subordinate clauses depend on the main clause to make complete sense. Look at the following sentences. Which are the main clause? Which are the subordinate clause? Example: come home before typhoon signal number 8 is hoarse. David told her that he missed her. The man who was robbed was very rich. The baby cried because it felt hungry. In the sentences, the clause not in italic are the main clause. The verbs in the main clause and the subordinate clause are underlined. Note that there is a joining word before each subordinate clause to link it with the main clause. Here they are before, that, who, because. Longer complex sentences. In some complex sentence, we can find both coordinate and subordinate clauses. These sentences are often quite long. Here are two examples. Come home before it gets dark and finish your homework. Come home is the main clause for the subordinate clause before it gets dark. However, come home and finish your work are also coordinate clause, joined by and. At last we came among the coral islands of the Pacific, and I would never forget the delight with which I gazed at the pure, white, dazzling shores. At last we came among the coral islands of the Pacific, and I would never forget the delight are two coordinate clause, joined by and. However, I would never forget the delight acts as the main clause for a subordinate clause. I gazed at the pure, white, dazzling shores, and they are joined by with which. Now let's practice. Task 1. Pick out the verbs in the sentence below. Find the main clause and subordinate clause in each sentence. What is done cannot be undone. Practice what you preach. He that cannot obey cannot command. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones. All that glitters is not gold. Don't count your chickens before they are hatched. If a thing is worth doing, it is worth doing well. In Rome, do as the Romans do. Where there is a will, there is a way. As he drew nearer, the light attracted the driver's attention. Task 2. Supply the main clause for the following sentences. Remember that there must be a verb in each clause. For example, this was where I lived. Where is the man who borrowed my phone? He ran away as he was afraid. Let us listen to the song Mary sang. We could still complete the exam paper, although it was difficult. He brought a present when he came to see me. I saw the strangers who were leaving suddenly. 留意 who were leaving suddenly 係 defining clause， 所以前句唔可以係人名。What he asked was not fully answered. As it was getting dark, they should stay overnight in a hotel. Task 3. Supply subordinate clauses for the following sentences. Remember, there must be a verb in each clause. What he plays in the circus seems very funny. Jane did not know where she had left the key. Do not be shocked by what he is going to announce in class. I like the dress that she is wearing today. Where is the picture that you drew last week? The man who is playing the piano is my brother. I cannot pass the test if I did not study the week before. It was too late when you called him to stop the game. He ran as if he was a bull charging at a red cloth. The teacher scolded us because we made a mistake again. The little boy followed his mother wherever she went in the market. Although he does not look very honest, he never tells lies. Now, do the exercise to test yourself. Bye.